Nomiki, Konst, Democratic candidate for New York's state Senate. Good to have both of you here. Rachel, let me start with you. You know, your reaction to, we knew that obviously there would be some answer from the White House and the administration in terms of how they would effort to get around this decision by the Supreme Court. And there will be some things that will fall into their legal purview and ability to be able to do.
Yeah, well, you just had a very interesting and fiery discussion with Ben Domenech and Jose about liberal policies wrapped up in compassion that are anything but compassionate. Women who find themselves in an unexpected crisis pregnancy, they don't want to ride to the abortion clinic to kill their child. What they want is support and love. And they want that primarily from the men in their lives. You heard Kamala Harris's comments about young men needing abortion. This is encouraging exactly the kind of irresponsibility and lack of taking ownership for what their participation in a pregnancy. So that's a culture change we need to talk about. They need support from their families, from their community, but also from their government. There's a program in Pennsylvania, Martha. A lot of people don't know about it. It was put in place by Governor Casey when Democrats could be pro-life. It's a $7 million program by the government with state and federal funds, mostly state funds, to help women in need, to provide pregnancy and parental support. It even has maternity homes. Who knew that those still existed for women in need, young women in need who maybe were kicked out of a home or something like that. These are the kinds of help and compassion that women need. They don't need the trauma of abortion. And this is a moment for pro-lifers to step up as well. They've been doing a lot of this work, but we need to do more of it.
So, you know, yesterday I said that I thought it was somewhat sad that states were sort of advertising themselves, Nomiki, as, you know, you can come here, you can come to our state for your abortion. And really I was echoing the thoughts of President Biden back in 2006 when he said, you know, every abortion is a tragedy. But now the tone has changed completely on this. You know, people are told to shout their abortion, that it's something to be proud of and not to be, you know, I never have spoken to anyone who was excited or happy about it. You know, I'm just wondering where we are right now in terms of compassion. And if you're pro-choice, wouldn't you be pro all of these options that Rachel just discussed in terms of ways to turn for help?
Well, I love how Rachel talks about family planning clinics when Republicans, the far right, extremist right, very religious groups that are getting tax breaks have been arguing in state legislatures across the country to shut down family planning clinics. And that's why federal funds should be put into that. I'm sorry, it's my turn, Rachel. Rachel, it's my turn. You had your chance to spew your talking points. Rachel, okay, so if you're listening right now and you believe that a woman, and you believe in compassion, a woman should have the right to choose what to do with their body and their lives. Because how many people in this country right now are at risk of losing their lives because they have an ectopic pregnancy? Because there are states that are being controlled by right-wing legislatures that are now making ectopic pregnancy termination illegal. That is a medical risk. That is actually exclusion.
I'm just going to jump in for a second because I want to play something. But every state will have the right to vote on and to approve these through their legislature, because that's what the Supreme Court did. Well, if you don't believe in democracy and people's ability to make decisions and vote for people who they want to represent them, then, you know, that's a whole different country that you want to live in.
That a woman should have the right to make a choice about their own body. Rachel, give me a second. You've had your time and you have your control right now. Let me tell you something. As someone who's had an abortion, if I didn't have that, I would have died. And there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of women across this country who are victims of rape, domestic violence, who are forced into...
Well, there isn't really anything that we have heard so far that would prevent those women from finding a place where they could absolutely take care of it. Okay, Nomiki, you said that you wanted it to be your turn, so now I'm going to go back to Rachel and let it be her turn, because I've got about 15 seconds. You've got the floor, Rachel. 15 seconds.
This is what it's about. It's about punishing women.
Well, I just today interviewed Ryan Baumberger, who was conceived through rape, a man who will tell you that his life has value. He was an amazing man. He was adopted. And I will just say this. Violence is never the answer. All lives
you have no
matter,
comments about guns. When children are killed, you don't want to regulate guns. Are you? Is this ridiculous?
All right. Thank you both. I am totally out of time. Nomiki,
that's okay.
Rachel Campos-Duffy, thank you for being here. Woof, that's the story. We'll be back tomorrow.